When Jake and Mia stumbled upon an old metal box buried in their backyard, they couldn't believe their luck. They'd spent hours digging around in the dirt, hoping to find anything interesting, but neither of them expected to unearth something this cool. Rusty and dented, the box looked ancient, like it had been hidden there for decades. "Think it's treasure?" Mia asked, eyes wide with excitement. Jake shrugged, but his fingers trembled as he pried the lid open. Inside, they found a stack of faded letters, a black and white photo of a young couple, and a small silver locket. The letters were yellowed and fragile, and the handwriting was elegant, looping across the page in careful script. "Let's read them," Mia suggested, grabbing the first letter. They unfolded it carefully and began to read. The letter was dated March 14, 1943, and it was addressed to a man named Charlie. The woman who wrote it, Lillian, talked about how much she missed him, how she waited by the mailbox every day for his letters, and how she dreamed of the day he'd return. "It's from a war," Jake said, his voice soft. "She must have buried it here, hoping he'd find it." They read each letter in order, unraveling the story of Lillian and Charlie, a young couple separated by war, bound together by love and promises of a future. The letters grew more intense, more desperate, as Lillian described the long days of waiting and the fear she felt whenever a telegram arrived at a neighbor's door. When they reached the last letter, Jake felt a strange sadness. August 2nd, 1944 was the date, and Lillian had written about hearing that Charlie's regiment was in danger. "Please come back to me," she'd written at the end. "I'll wait here, forever if I have to." But there were no more letters. The finality of it hit Jake and Mia as they sat in silence, absorbing the heartbreaking end. Mia clutched the silver locket, realizing it was engraved with C+LX. She pressed it open to reveal a tiny picture of the couple, smiling and happy. "Do you think he ever came back?" Mia whispered, her voice tinged with sadness. Jake shook his head. "I don't think so. If he had, he would found these." The sun was setting, casting a warm orange glow over the backyard. They sat quietly, staring at the letters, feeling like they'd uncovered a secret piece of history, a love story frozen in time. Finally, Jake stood up, dusting off his hands. "Maybe we should put it all back," he said. "They deserve to rest together." Mia nodded, understanding. They carefully returned the letters, the photo, and the locket to the box, sealing it as best they could. Together, they buried it deep again, covering it with earth and patting the dirt smooth. As they walked back to the house, Jake glanced over his shoulder, almost expecting to see Lillian waiting by the tree. But there was only the quiet whisper of the wind, carrying their story back into the ground.